All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how the overall plan or the overall mission is for us to be saved from all of this BS. And this nation is somewhat inspired by a video that I was recently just watching of some of the elders and brothers that was speaking, and they was going into how one of the main things that a lot of Jakes in this world desire to have is a job, right? And I think you could just go further as to say one of the main things that the sons of Jacob, the ones that don't want to believe that they are the sons of Jacob, the main things that they want to have is money in this world, right? The main thing that they desire is ultimately money, because with or without the job, if the job that they desire to have doesn't get them enough money to be able to take part in all of the affairs of this world, then they're going to want more and more and more. But the main desire for most of the people in general in this world is to have money, so that they can dive into the things that's going on in this world. And that's why when the lockdown came, people's grievance wasn't that the lockdowns came and that, oh, it's the lockdowns here. It was that they can't carry on doing all the things that they wanted to do before. That was their main grievance. Because had they have found it where the society's locked down, but they can still carry on doing whatever they want to do, wherever they was, they wouldn't have cared, and they wouldn't have even noticed, right? That it wouldn't have cared for them, matter to most of the rest of these people if everywhere else in the world was shut down apart from wherever they are, right? But the overall mission of what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is trying to make us go through is that we're going to overcome every single thing in this earth, including death, right? We're going to overcome sorrow. We're going to overcome fear. We're going to overcome crying. Now, let me prove it with prophecy, right? We're going to overcome being scared. We're going to overcome crying and all these things, man. Let's go Revelation chapter 21 and verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away, right? Now, when you go to, and I'm going to go to it, when you go to 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, it speaks about how the last, 1 Corinthians 15 and 26 to be exact, it speaks about how the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, and I'll read it right now. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 26, the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, right? So that's the last enemy that's going to be destroyed. But we've got loads of other enemies too, right? We've got fear of being scared. Like, I remember a video that I watched before that Apostle Gabar did, which I ain't been able to find that exact video. I don't know if it's still out there, but he did a video of called The Demon of Doubt before, right? And that was a very good video. And I remember overall what was said in that video, right? But that's an enemy. Doubt is an enemy, right? Money, the cares of worrying about money, that's an enemy, right? And that's where in the kingdom, one of the things that's going to be sealed up for every single Israelite is having to worry about money. There's a literal prophecy, and I'm going to go and get it if I can remember where it is. There's a little literal prophecy going into how the Israelites ain't going to have to worry about that, but it doesn't say it in those words. But I'm gonna see if I can find it. This is Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 17. For brass I will bring gold. So the same way how in a society a kingdom might have gold, a kingdom might have brass, excuse me. That's the way how the Israelites are going to have gold, right? And for iron, I will bring silver. The same way how in a business or in this world, like, just think of every single building that gets made, right? And how much iron is inside of that building, right? Well, that's how the Israelites are going to have silver, right? All these in this society that we live in right now, they got all these big skyscraper buildings. They're filled with iron, right? They're filled with iron. Within the concrete, within the structures, all these things, it's got iron. They use iron when they make these buildings to try and keep it firm, and they surround it by concrete a lot of the time, right? That's the kind of way how the Israelites are going to have silver, right? And for stones, iron, just step outside and look in your garden. Or even if you don't have a garden, wherever you live, just step outside of the front of wherever you live, right? And just look at how many stones you see around. That's how the Israelites are going to have iron. So in a world like that, are the Israelites going to be worried about money? No, they're not. Israelites not going to have to worry about money or a job in that time. Whereas right now, they might have to worry about that, because if they here's the thing, if they don't have money, most of the things else that they try and do, they can't do them. But the way how they get access to this money in this world, Esau is at the root of it some way, somehow. And who the hell wants to live a life like that, where a man that's preparing to put micro CHIPs in every single person's body that he gets the chance to, and if not, prepared to make them go through Revelation 24, have their head roll on the ground? Who the hell wants to have what kind of, all you people that are going to take this micro C-hip, what kind of existence do you think you're going to have once you get that? Don't you know that this man's sick in the head? Don't you know that he's going to be tinkering with your data while that thing's in your head any chance he gets? Trying to put information in there, take information out. Oh, that faith gene that they got. Oh, that rebellious gene. Let's take that out. Just imagine the kind of things that this sicko would be able to do, man. Just that alone should be all the boosting you need to not take it. The existence that you'd have will be horrible, right? Verse 18, for violence shall no one be heard in thy land. And that's another thing that we gonna have to be free from, violence, man. From when you see another Israelite and you start thinking, man, here we go. Because we already know an Israelite, yeah, is stronger than every other nation physically, right? And the curses, Deuteronomy 28:54, causes for Israelites to have an extra level of anger towards their own people. So when you see an Israelite, one of your own fellow people, a so-called black person, let me not even say Israelite in this way. When you see your own people, their rage is extra increased towards you for no reason. Whereas their rage towards Esau, who's causing the problems in their life, is low. But when they see you, they're like, man, they're looking at you sideways. They got a dumb smirk on their face when they see you. But when they see Esau, they're polite, they're moving out of their way, they're trying to soften their voice to try and prove that they're not like the rest of so-called black people. These are the kind of thought processes that some of us might have had before in the past, until we fixed up and realized this guy's just an Edomite. You don't have to bow down to this guy. And let me just see if I can find this scripture where it goes into how these nations have said, bow down as the ground, that we may go over, man. Where's that scripture? They've said to your soul, bow down, right? So that we may go over. Where is that? Where is that scripture, man? I think I might have just already gone past it, but I'm going to try and find that. Here we go. Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 21. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. And that's most of these Israelites. They're drunken, but not with wine. And that's why every single person that believes that they're a Hebrew Israelite right now, right, believes that we are one of the children of Israel. Once upon a time, they stumbled upon an Israelite, a so-called black person, Latino, Native American, and it was telling them something about this. And the person was, they're alive and they're there. You can see them standing there, you talking to them, but they're not there at the same time. They're there physically, but they're not there though. And they're pretending to listen to what you're saying, but they're not listening. They're thinking about something way completely different to anything to do with being anything about the Bible. They're thinking about anything else because they're drunk. Watch any of these videos, right? Either a drunk person being arrested, a person in a nightclub or anything like that, and just try and talk and just see what happens when people are trying to talk sense into them. They ain't trying to hear none of that. They ain't listening to nothing. If you've ever had a conversation with a person that's really actually drunk, you'll be saying something to them like, let's get in a taxi. And they'll be talking about something completely different. They ain't trying to hear nothing what you're talking about and what they're talking about are completely different. So it's even worse when you're drunk, but not with wine. They're drunk spiritually. It's even worse, man. Because Esau's made them drunken with the ways of this world. Got people believing that it's okay to sell your soul and do a whole bunch of madness to be a star in Hollywood, to be a popular YouTuber, right? To be a rapper, to be a singer, to be a R&B, to be a anything what is in this world, anything that makes you have large amounts of money or large amounts of fame. It's okay to do any of that stuff as long as you keep it secretive and no one ever finds out about it. It's okay to do all these dark works behind the scenes, but as long as when people look at you, they think you're really successful because you actually had some kind of integrity and did things what you're saying to them that you did, it's okay. That's being drunk with the philosophies of this world, man. Oh, it's okay to be a complete harlot and demon in this world as long as nobody don't ever figure out that you did that and you can just deny it. But it's okay to be like that and try and make everyone else be envious of your life. But the things that you did to actually get that money are disgusting. That's being drunk, but not with wine. Verse 22, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, and thy power that pleased the cause of his people, behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of my cup of fury. Thou shalt no more drink again. And this is part of the things that we're hoping for as Israelites, to be free from all of this, man. And being free from it is going to happen gradually, right? Every single enemy that the Israelites have is going to be gradually defeated. One particular enemy is this so-called Jesus thing, man. So that now when we as Israelites see that word in the scriptures, right? We don't even say that J word no more. Like I just said it then, but I don't like saying it. And when I see that word in the scriptures, I'm not thinking about a so-called white man no more. I'm thinking about a so-called black man. And that takes time for that enemy to be defeated. Whereas a lot of you Israelites in Christianity, you haven't still undid that movie character that you see in the movies and in pictures of the so-called white man with that brownish blonde hair with his arms out and the heart image on his chest. You haven't overcame that. You still believe that. You still believe that the Jews could never possibly look like you. And some of you Jakes out there are trading in being Judah. Some of you African Americans in particular, you're trading in being Judah to be a Gentile. Like, absolutely ridiculous. You're trading in being part of the same tribe as the Messiah to be a Gentile. like when we used to hear about and it's funny, and this is true, man. I've seen this, and most of you out there have seen this too, especially you brothers out there. You've heard so-called black people happily claim to be a Hamite before and say, oh, we come from Ham. But these same people now will say it does not matter who we are from in the Bible when we say that we're Israelites. But Dave in the past said, oh yeah, black people come from Ham. If it don't matter, why did you ever say that in the past? Why did you ever even bow down and even claim that you was from Ham? If it truly does not matter. If it truly does not matter, you should have never claimed Ham neither, right? If it's a true, oh, whatever you're from, it does not matter at all. But obviously, y'all are talking some BS. Because you was happy to claim that you're from Ham because you was told you are by the so-called white man. But then when your own people that look like you say, no, we're not from Ham, we're from Shem. And to be more specific, we're from Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Oh, how can you prove that? But y'all never got any proof that you came from Ham, though. And here's the thing. There's more proof that we descend from Shem, thanks to Deuteronomy 28, than there's ever been proof that we descend from Ham. There's way more proof that we descend from the children of Israel specifically because of prophecy's sake than that there's biblical proof that we descend from Ham. What's the proof that we descend from Ham that anyone's ever shown? What are the scriptures? Or has it just been people's own words to say that we are? But scriptures like Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, prove that the so-called black woman has lost her hair on average for some reason. There's something out there that's made her not be able to grow her type of hair that she grows out of her head. She can't even grow that long. No one's expecting her to grow long, straight hair like a so-called white woman or Asian woman or anything else. But her actual hair type that she has, that doesn't even grow long. From 4C, whatever C hair you want to talk about, man. Whatever, all the different types of woolly hair that exist, that type of hair that so-called black woman has does not grow out of her hair long. She doesn't have a long, flowing 4C hairstyle. Or whatever other C's you want to say, whatever other letters and numbers and letters, hairstyles you want to say. It doesn't grow out of her hair long. Why? Isaiah 3 completes that and shows that. Because they were haughty and what is stretched forth necks and one-tongued eyes, walking, mincing, tingling, twinkling, twinkle, twinkle, as they go, man. That Yahweh punished them for that. He punished them for that. Like, we're the Israelites, man. And we're the gradual thing that we're going through is to be saved from every single enemy that we have. And before death being defeated, which is the last enemy, Esau is going to be defeated. We're still going to be mortal, and Esau is going to be defeated, man. That's what you can that we can know this through the scriptures. Let me read it. We can know this through prophecy. Esau is going to be defeated before we are immortal. Now, if I'm lying, explain what 1 Corinthians 15 and 26 means. We're still going to be mortal, and Esau is going to have been defeated, man. From that very moment that Yahushua comes back, okay, I guess you could say we're about to become immortals once Yahushua comes back, but we're not going to be those straight away. Like Esau, man, the whole reason why Esau's even rushing to do everything that he's doing right now is because he knows that he's got a short time. And when you read, I've thought about this several times, right? As far as this society goes, who's really actually happy? Because somebody might say, oh, the elites are happy. They can do whatever they want to do. No, they can't. Because they can't openly admit that they're Edomites right now. They have to hide who they are. How can you be happy doing that? How can you be happy having to hide who you are? And you can't walk anywhere that you want on the earth in your own kingdom. In our kingdom, we're going to be able to. We ain't going to have to lie and say that we're not the richest in the world. We're not going to, if some Moabites was to roll by us, which they're not going to have the chance to just be by us like that anyway. But let's say they did. We ain't going to put, are you this name from the tribe of Benjamin, from the seed royale? Oh, nah, I'm not. We ain't, mate, we're going to be, yeah, I am, and what? Yeah. Are you one of the elect to the nation of Israel? Yeah, I am. Who's and what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna do something, are you? We ain't gonna hide who we are. Are you an Israelite? Like some of these small hats will take that stupid small hat off their head in certain situations and pretend that there's something else. They ain't just bold to walk around. They ain't. Now, some people might say, oh, they don't want to be around certain types of people. Okay, but they couldn't be even if they did want to. Because among some of their own people, they'd get turfed in, man. Never mind anyone else. They can't just go wherever they want to go, really. They can go around the best of the best places, but they ain't truly happy down here, man. That's why they're lying all the time. You know how much freedom and compared to Esau, even the elites, man, you know how much freedom we have as Israelites that we can just tell that the truth's our weapon. We don't have to make things up. We don't have to sit down and be like, you know what? How are we going to get people to believe this? Even though it's not true. All we have to do as Israelites is just say what the truth is, whether people believe it or not. Esau's got to convince people that the sky ain't blue. The sky ain't blue. I've got to convince them that the sky ain't blue. So how am I going to go about this? And he's got to try and get people to believe that blue ain't blue anymore. He's got to do, and that's why you got these certain people that have tried to make their whole life's work be to come against the Israelites, and you're seeing that it's stressing them out. They're bugging out. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They laughed about having a beard, but then they grew a beard afterwards, right? They laughed and said, you don't need a beard to be a believer. Now the same person's got a beard on his face and has done videos, brushing his teeth, combing his beard in front of the camera, Now, I've seen the videos, so no one can't say, nah, I ain't seen it. I've seen it. He did videos, brushing his beard on the camera, combing it and that. But before, he said you don't need a beard, but now he's got a beard on his face. Now he's got a beard. He's laughs and mocks the Israelites all the time, but he's traveled to different countries to try and speak to Israelites. You're from America and you've traveled to London to harass people that believe a certain belief system according to the Bible, and these people don't even have a church or a building, and somehow you found them. Like, that's a hell of a lot of dedication for some people that are just a joke, huh? No, you take that more seriously than anything else in your life if you're doing something like that. You take that more serious than anything else in your whole life, man. Which shows, I guess it shows that you're smarter than the rest of your own Edomite people, because you actually know what's coming. You're still in a cognitive dissonance, but you still actually know, man, this cannot happen. You're smarter than the rest of them, I guess. I guess we could say that. But being smarter than the rest of the Edomites as an Edomite is like being the world's tallest midget. Like, who cares? It's like being the world's most handsome, ugly person. Okay. It's like being the best smelling, stinky person. Okay. Congratulations. You know what I mean? Congrats. Like, you Edomites are one of the enemies that we are going to be freed from, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 26. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. We got a whole bunch of other enemies too. Let's read some of them. Man. We got a whole bunch of enemies that are going to be defeated. Psalms 83 and verse 3 and verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. But guess what? The name of Israel is not only going to be in remembrance, it's going to be in remembrance forever. Every single Israelite that makes it through the day of the Lord is going to be a continual history book, a living book, if you want to call it like that, of every single individual account that they went through during the day of the Lord. So some men are going to have their own account of what they went through in the day of the Lord, right? Then another Israelite is going to have a same account of that particular Israelite's accounts as being true. They're going to confirm it, like, yeah, I seen him do this. Like, let's use this. One Israelite is going to say, oh yeah, might say, when the day of the Lord came, he gave me power from heaven, and I picked up a tank and threw it. And I was the first Israelite to pick up a tank and throw one. But then I looked over to my left, and I seen another brother be like, oh, I didn't know we could do that right now. And he picked up a tank and he threw one. And then I looked over to my right and I saw, oh shit, another Israelite picked up a tank and he threw one. And now another Israelite is going to record the same situation. He's going to be like, man, I remember when the day of the Lord came, and I looked over to my right and I saw a brother pick up a tank and throw it. And I was like, raw, I didn't even know we could do that. Then I seen him look over at me, and then I picked up a tank and then I threw it. And then I looked over to my right and I seen, man, that brother over there, he's doing it as well. And now all of us Israelites are just realizing that for some reason, we're all strong enough to pick up tanks. I couldn't believe it. Then another Israelite might be like, man, and after I saw them three brothers throw tanks, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can make electricity come out my hands real quick. And I put my hand out there, twinkled my fingers a little bit, and what do you know? Electricity was sparking up everything, every heathen in sight. And then I looked behind me and I seen a brother with eyes that were making laser beams. Like, who knows what kind of things are going to happen, man? But there's going to be continual accounts backing up and proving all different stories, man, all different things that people are going to go through. There's going to be people that might not get no spiritual prayer in that time and was made to be beheaded, and they're going to have their own particular account. I got beheaded, and the next thing you know, after that guillotine blade swung down, the next thing I can remember is that I was on a ship, I was on a chariot in the sky, and I'm looking around me, and I'm like, wow, all these people look strong as hell up on here. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, man, what are these beings with four faces? They got a face of a man, a face of a lion, another face, and another face. I'm like, what are these? The angels of the Lord? And then I looked at myself in a reflection of the on the chariots, and I was like, whoa, who's that? Because that don't look like what I used to look like. And then I looked down, and I seen all this fire, and then I seen all these other people praising the Lord. And then the next thing you know, I'm praising the Lord, and we're all on this chariot singing the song of Moses, burning out Babylon. People are gonna have all their own accounts of all the different enemies that are gonna be defeated, man. Lies is one enemy that we've defeated already as Israelites, man. All the lies that we used to believe, all the different things that we used to believe in this society that we don't believe no more. Pork is an enemy that we defeated. Unclean food is an enemy that we defeated, man. Now we don't deliberately eat unclean foods no more. Now, if there's secret things hidden in foods that we don't know about, we can't do nothing about that. That's Esau's judgment that he's going to receive, because he'll think if he sneaks pork in our food, that we're to blame for eating that pork because, oh, we should have known that there's pork in there if we're really children of Israel. No. Haven't you seen that the scripture says, warn to you that giveth your neighbor to drink, that he may look on his nakedness? Warn to you that puts a stumbling block before your neighbor. You're doing that to us when you do these things. So you're going to be judged for that as well. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. All these enemies, man. The tabernacles of Edom, that's the enemy that's going to be defeated. And the Ishmaelites, that's the enemy that's going to be defeated. Of Moab and the Hagarenes, two other enemies that we're going to defeat. Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre. All these enemies. And really, every single nationality that's not an Israelite is our enemy, because they're hoping that their nation ends up being on top. But we are. Right? All these enemies are going to be defeated, man. And people will be like, nah, that's not true. It says in the scriptures, the last enemy that should be destroyed is death. So before death's destroyed and we're immortal now, everything else is going to be destroyed now. I said before, who can really be happy? Who's really happy in this society? And it's partly based off when I was going into how the elites ain't even really happy. It's partly like, didn't one of them pass out recently? Wasn't there a meeting with Mr. 47 and one frail Edomite passed out in the background in the crowd? Which that could have been some secret trick to try and make like, oh, there's something going around that we all need to get another thingy for. Another VAX. Who knows what the hell these floppy demons are doing, man. But I said that who can really be happy in this society, right? And I'm going to show the scripture that makes me think like this. Like even the elites ain't truly even happy in this world, man. They're doing their dark work behind the scenes and they live better than everyone else. But at the same time, they still see that the Israelites are getting stirred up and are rebuking their society, that we're made to reprove their thoughts. And when you read, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, where it goes into how they say, let their strength be the law of justice. One of the thoughts that they have ultimately deep down is that you can't come back again if you die. That's one of their thoughts, and it goes into how they thought these things but not are right, because you can come back again if you die. And they're going to experience that in our kingdom. They're going to experience it, man. Sirach chapter 41 and verse 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions. That's these elites. So they ain't truly happy because they know that they are not got the kingdom that the children of Israel have. Several of these elites recently, big time ones, are not around no more. Right? What happened with this whole CK thing, right? However dodgy that was and all that, whether it was real or not real, just the fact that they have to do stuff like that proves that they are not supposed to be in charge, because whatever plan it was or whatever it was that they wanted to do, if they were really truly in charge and was at peace, they would just be able to, whatever the plan was, do it. They're having to do all these things to try and deceive people to get them to take the MOTB. If they was really trusted as being the leaders, what they think they are, they would just be able to say, you know what, everyone, this is what we're gonna do. You doing it? You down with us or not? And everyone would be like, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people, and they would do it, right? But they don't do that because they don't trust you like that. And that's why you have to deceive the people to get them to do what they want to do. Just like how there's a lot of women in this world, right? I don't even want to try and be bringing it about women all the time, but this is the thing that people understand. This is the thing that men will understand, man. There's a lot of women in this world, right, that they think they're a good woman, but in order to, in their whole life's existence, the only way they've ever been able to get a man to do what they desire for him to do is by manipulating them. They're not able to get that man to do anything that they want him to do without manipulation. So are they really a good woman? No, they're not. Because if there was a good woman, he would just naturally do those things. They wouldn't have to try and manipulate him to do them. Like these women that make fake rape accusations on men, knowing damn well that it wasn't like that. But they thought they could sleep with him to try and manipulate him, and he slept with them, and didn't want nothing else to do with them, and because he didn't see nothing else that they had as any worth. So then they tried to do that. But if there would have been a good woman in general, he would have stuck around. Just like how if Esau was really a good leader, he wouldn't have to deceive people into taking the MOTB. Now, I'm gonna read the last bit of this, and then I'm gonna go to the prophecy that proves that, and that have prosperity in all things, yea, unto him that is able to receive meat. Now, when you go Revelation 19, right, and I think it's 19 and 20. Let me get this. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. So he's actually able to do great things in his world, right? AI, for example, is a miracle. Like when you see, I heard the apostles talking yesterday on some of these AI videos, and some of these AI videos are crazy. Now, when you consider some of these AI things, and I'm going to try and kind of not be in defense of this whole EBT women's thing right now, but I'm going to say this regarding that EBT thing on these women, right? If the EBT thing that all these women are going through is so bad as it really says that, as people are all really making out like it is, right? You don't need to make no fake AI videos showing women begging for EBT and all that. There should be more than enough real videos, right? And when you people out there start making fake AI videos trying to show things, you people need to be considering this. Would you want somebody making a fake AI video, making an AI video showing you do something? You people that are more than happy to show an AI video of some random so-called black woman begging for EBT and all this, right? Okay. Would you want a video showing your race doing something then? And that's what I mean with these people. They're so fake. But these are miracles because these videos look realistic, man. To the point where you sometimes can't know whether it is or isn't real. But these things are going to get ready to be used against people. All they would have to do, right, is come up to one of these celebrities, okay, to start off with, I'm just going to do a fake video of you taking it, of you taking the MOTB, or they could do fake videos of celebrities taking a VAX. Because even recently as well, and some of you people out there, you can answer or speak about this yourself as well, but some of the time recently when I've been watching some of these videos on Mr. 47, right? And I've been looking at the video and I've been like, is this even real? Like some of the cameras that they're using to record some of these footage these days, when they're doing their speeches, it looks like it's not even real. It looks AI. Like even some of the time when these guys talking, I'm looking at the image on the screen. I'm like, have they done his makeup to make him look AI, or is he actually AI? Like it's ridiculous. You can't even trust what your eyes see anymore, man. And these are part of the miracles that Esau is wrought in. Self-driving cars that will brake for you, rear view cameras and all that stuff to make driving so-called easier, all these different things. These are all the different miracles, man. But it's all deception though. Because all these different things that they'll give you is to destroy you. It's not for the benefit of you. That's the last thing that they want. Verse 20 again, and I saw the beast, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that brought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the MOTB, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with a brimstone. So what's the point? That people were deceived into taking the MOTB through the miracles that they're going to be able to do. Because it is going to be able to do things. It is going to technically, somewhat, some way, make people's lives so-called easier to some degree. But that small amount of ease that it's going to make you have for payments, now you've been completely rejected from the Lord. So what was the point of that easiness of life? What was the point? And then I hear brothers also go into how the MOTB ultimately is not Esau's thing, it's Yahweh's, right? That's Yahweh using his left hand to say, okay, all of you people on this earth anyway, whether you like it or not, you believe in me ultimately anyway. Or like Esau is funny. He really thinks that him worshiping Satan, that he's not worshiping Yahweh. No, you are still worshiping Yahweh. You're worshiping Yahweh's left hand, right? But us, in believing in Yahweh Shai and believing in Yahweh himself, are believing in Yahweh's right hand. And with all you people that are going to take the MOTB, it's ultimately like, okay, you like the side of Yahweh that created evil, but we like the side of Yahweh that created good, even though we also know that he created evil. But most of you people want to try and believe in the side of Yahweh that created evil without without acknowledging that he also made good. You don't care about none of that. We love and believe in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, despite us knowing that he made good and evil. But some of you people don't want to accept that Yahweh made good and evil. You want to be like, oh nah, he's all love. God's all love. But the part of him that you are calling his love is actually the part that he calls his hate. So you're lost. Now let me get this to prove that God made both. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. And we believe in Yahweh even despite that we know that he made good and bad. We know that even new people in this world that we don't like, and we know that you're wicked. We know that Yahweh made you to do all that. We know that he's making you do these things, and we still believe in him. Whereas you people don't want to accept that. Like people speak about manifest destiny, right? Manifest destiny goes both ways. Okay, it was manifest destiny when we went through all the things that we went through, and Esau through America was able to get all the things that he got. Okay, that was destiny manifest, right? Well, there's destinies after that destiny, right? There's prophecies. Ultimately, that's what they're talking about. There's prophecies after that prophecy, because there's the prophecy of revenge after for those works. That's the thing that y'all all forget. And just like how we deserve what we went through, you people are all going to deserve what is going to happen to you, man. And I just wanted to do this video because it was something that I was thinking of, about how the overall goal and plan is for us to escape from all of these things, man. And every single person is going to have a different route, but it's all part of the same prophecy, man. And it's all going to ultimately happen in the same exact way anyway, through Yahweh Shai. And there ain't no other way for it to happen. And on that, I'm going to say Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.